Hey lads, I know a lot of you really enjoyed my Lichess Over the Board to 2000 series, and so this is day 4 of that series. I'm going to be playing with the Chessnut Pro board, playing on Lichess. I think my rating is currently around 1500, but we'll see what we can do today, and if I can progress a wee bit closer to 2000 on Lichess. There we go. Sorry about that, lads. I just had a little bit of fumbling there. My opponent played e4, I played c6, and he played d4. So we're into a Caro Kann. And yeah, my opponent is a 1292. He's played the advanced. And so I'm playing the Botvinnik Carl's defense. I'm currently sitting at 1446. I lost a couple games. And I know this opening very well, so I'm just going to play the moves more quickly so that I have time in the later stages of the game to do well. Yeah, I lost a few games on my series, and I'm embarrassed that I'm a 1446, but can't be too embarrassed, you know. We're going to dominate this 1200. He's a 1292, so I suppose he's closer to a 1300, isn't he? We're going to try to get our pieces out here soon. I think we'll develop the knight, and we want to go after the d4 pawn. That's the whole goal here. In fact, I probably could have already taken it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to kick this bishop. And if he takes my knight, then I recapture with my e7 knight, and I just win that piece. Okay, and now he's stopped my pin. So, so I suppose we come here. And now we're attacking that pawn twice. And it's only defended once, but he's holding on here. He really is holding on. So I'm going to capture this one. And if he retakes with his knight, he's fine. Okay, he did. And you see, he's still holding this pawn because when he recaptured, now his queen is defending. So I'm going to play queen b6. And now I'm targeting that pawn again. And if he tries to defend with bishop, maybe we win the b2 pawn. Maybe. Okay. And he defends with his queen, which is not sensible. Because we can take that pawn. He recaptures with knight, I recapture with queen. Yeah, this is fine. So now we've won the pawn. And now we recapture with queen. And we're going to take that other pawn on e5. Okay, he just swaps queens off. That's totally fine with me. And I'm attacking his bishop. And my development is going to be fine. We're up a pawn. We just play this slowly. This is totally fine. Now I still have 15 minutes on the clock. Okay, he just defends. But that's a mistake because now we fork his rooks. I still have 15 minutes on the clock, but these moves are very simple to make. And my opponent resigns. Well, I'm sorry about that. That was a very quick game. But we were able to get the win there. We played with a 99% accuracy. I mean that's totally fine. Yeah, you can see the bar. We never really make any mistakes. 0 mistakes, 0 inaccuracies, 0 blunders. I'm going to go with a second game because I felt like that game was too quick. There we go. I was just making sure that the board was connected there. My opponent has played d4. So let's put the knight on c3. And he is a 15-59. So he'll be solid. And we'll see how we fare here. Okay, he's brought his knight out, and we'll put our bishop on f4. Typical Jobava. He's played a6. We'll play e3, and we'll see what he does with his light squared bishop. That's always what you sort of look out for here. He's playing extremely slowly, so we're going to just respond with development. And maybe now his light squared bishop's going to move. Or maybe he'll play e6. Hard to know. He can do whatever he wants. But I do think a6 and h6 are kind of slow. So I would say we probably have an advantage already. Not much of an advantage, but a slight one. Again, he plays e6. So his bishop's staying on the inside. And on e6, I should have been prepared for this. I believe we just develop our bishop. And we're probably going to be playing for an e4 break this game. We don't have to put the knight on e5, but it depends. It depends what he does here. So he's gone here, and I always capture the pawn when it comes to c5. He's probably going to capture this bishop. He does. And now, do we play e4 or do we try something else? I think we go e4. Now, if he pushes d4 himself, then we just put the knight on e2, and we'll have 2 knights attacking that pawn. Even go bishop e5, having 3 pieces attacking it. And we'll castle here soon. I do need to castle. I'm always slow on castling. Probably one of my downsides. But I do just like to attack. You know? Attacking is fun. Sometimes you just don't have time to castle. So I'm imagining d5 takes e4. Yeah, that's what he went for. And we're going to recapture it with the knight, because the knight is not as powerful as the bishop. The bishop is a better piece. So if he recaptures here, then that is more than fine with me. We'll just recapture with our bishop. And now the queens are seeing each other. So he captures the queen, and we will capture with the rook. So he just wanted to trade everything, which I don't think is good. I'm trying to remember why, though. He still has the bishop pair. So his bishop can't actually move because we're hitting that pawn on b7. So maybe we try to attack it. But that would mean getting a knight to d6. So maybe we have to go knight e5, knight c4, knight d6. Which I'm more than happy doing. Now I could have castled and tried to stack the rooks, but didn't see it happening there. Maybe it could. Maybe that's the way, I don't know. I do think he's a wee bit paralyzed here though. Like if his knight moves, then we can go knight d7 and hit his bishop. So his bishop will have to probably move. And maybe we can go knight b6, hitting his rook. When the rook moves, we take the bishop on c8. One idea. I don't think it's easy for him. And having the bishop pair is very nice here. Sometimes when you play the Jobava, you just you don't get attacking games. You get more slow positional games. Okay, I'm just going to pull back to here. He took a lot of time on that last move. If he plays h5, we go h3. So his knight has come out. So I need to think about this. Can't we just take the knight? He recaptures with pawn and then we take the pawn. His only move is rook e7. And we're up a pawn. Yeah. Yeah, we have to take. He's going to take, isn't he? He doesn't have anything else. He has to take it. Okay. And we'll recapture. Rook comes to a7. And now I could go bishop b8, but his rook can hide on e7. And I nearly have a skewer. But his bishop's defending well. So let's get rid of his bishop's defense. If we can go b4, we're in a good position. Okay, and now I think he's sort of fallen for a tactic, has he? I can take his bishop, or I can... Oh no, I can't go bishop b8. But even if I could, he could take my bishop. I take the rook e7 and he takes back with his other bishop. But yeah, I think we just have to swap off here. I have a passed pawn on the c file, so we're going to try to use that. And I think here we're going to castle. Whoa. Maybe rook c8. We'll go rook d3. And I'm not really using a whole lot of time. But yeah, we are just up a pawn. I'd like to come rook d7 at some point. It seems like a very active square. I don't see how he has any counterplay. Okay, so he wants to trap my bishop. So instead of allowing that, we'll put our bishop into the center of the board. And he just moves his rook. We're going to move our rook. I could probably also have gone rook d7. Just attacked his rook. Okay, so he just defends his pawn. So I think here we should attack his bishop. And now we have a check on g7, and he's forced to f8. He can't go to h8 because we're going to win a rook if he does, because it'll be a discovered check. So rook g7, king f8, and then maybe rook h7, winning the pawn on h6. Looks very nice. He took my bishop? That was really strange. That was really, really strange. Okay, I'm just going to come here. I'm just going to take his pawn now. Very strange. He's just pushing. Don't really need the h6 pawn. So if I come rook g6 check, it's basically a forced mate. I mean, it's nearly a forced mate. I could probably take it. But it might be slightly quicker to not take it. He just resigns. Okay. Well, he wasn't in forced mate, but yeah, that was a nice quick win. Wow. Well, there you have it. 2 wins. Let's check the review and see how we did. Analysis board. Okay, I played with a 95% accuracy and our opponent with an 84. So we are playing fairly accurately on Lichess with the board. Let's run through the lines real quick. So all this was standard. And you can see the blue arrow is the best move. So this one here is the best move, which we did. So everything we're playing here is basically best, except for this move. We went this way, and the best move was to come back to d2. So that was our one mistake. And here it does want this. It didn't want us to try and trap the bishop. I thought about this afterwards, but here, and then I wasn't sure what to do. Was it just here, here, here? I thought about this in my mind afterwards. But yeah, I guess it was good, but I think what I did was basically just as good. Maybe not quite as good. Okay, and castling was somewhat inaccurate, but not terrible. Yeah, I mean the game was extremely simple, wasn't it? It was very simple. Okay, and not taking the pawn was good. It wants us to come here or just push the pawn here. So we actually did pretty well there, but taking the pawn, yeah, was slightly not as good. This is about a whole pawn better. And then it just wants us to push here, but coming here was fine. Wasn't amazing, but it wasn't bad. Hope you lads enjoyed these 2 games today. 99% and 95%. 2 very accurate games playing over the board with the Chessnut Pro. If you want to get your own Chessnut Pro, use the coupon code in the description of the video. I'll be coming out with a video probably next week on Chessnut Pro and doing over the board puzzles. So if that's something that's interesting to you guys, you can see how to do puzzles on the Chessnut Pro and how easy it is to set them up and go through puzzles. So that'll just be sort of a fun video for me. I never do puzzle videos on YouTube, but I thought I would do one with the Chessnut Pro, kind of different than a regular puzzle video. Anyway, we're up to 1542 now on Lichess, and I'll see you all very, very soon. Thanks for watching.